Little Kitty Big City is an open world adventure game developed by Double Dagger Studio, a very small indie studio based in Seattle. You play as a super cute black indoor kitty who accidentally falls out of their apartment window, and then you have to explore the city to find your way back home. The game is extremely cozy and has a very relaxing vibe. You'll interact with other animals who may give you quests to complete to progress the story and help you get back home. You can collect hats for your cat to wear in hard to get locations. And of course, you can take big naps in the sun. It's a very light-hearted, cozy adventure where you go to explore the curiosity and mischievous nature of being a cat. The main objective is to get fish to regain strength, which allow you to climb and get back to your home. You do this through various ways, which ends up then unlocking new areas in the city as you gain more strength and are able to climb more. As a quick overall impression, it's a very cute game that has a bit of charm. There are a lot of moments where I was able to be mischievous and cause myself to giggle, but it just felt like there should have been more. I had fun with the game, but finished it in about 2.5 hours, while not trying to go at a particularly fast pace. But it's not just that. While there are new mechanics and interactions you learn, there really just isn't too much. I think the best example is that for pretty much the entire game, the main thing you can knock off and break are just plant pots. Even just a little variation in the things to break would be great. I even got to a point where I found a little tea set, and being the mischievous little kitty that I am, I was very excited to hop on the table and break it, but it wasn't interactable, which just felt like a shame when this feels exactly like the kind of thing that the game would want you to do. Explore being a mischievous little cat. On top of that, it just felt rough around the edges. The movement was fine, but also felt clunky and had some outright glitchy feeling moments, and the cat just didn't feel snappy and agile like I'd expect. And really, that sums up most of the game. Everything just felt fine, but didn't really feel special. Nothing really stood out as being great, but nothing was bad either. For such a short game, I really wanted quite a bit more polish or just more variations on the things that you can do as you progress through. The characters were fun, but again, being such a short game, there aren't too many of them. The game is pretty straightforward, and you probably won't run into any issues with difficulty or mechanics when progressing the game, which really is the whole point since it's meant to be such a cozy game. The fun from this game comes from doing mischievous little things and just being playful, like knocking pots off the edge or stealing a slipper and dropping it in a puddle of water. The characters you meet all also have their own personality and can be quite fun to interact with. They take on silly stereotypical traits like a dog who just loves balls, and it makes for some very charming and cute dialogue. You will also naturally explore. However, the game's exploration is loosely guided by the characters you meet and the quests you receive, so you don't really ever feel lost in your exploration. The visual style, while nothing groundbreaking, is cute and charming, and it runs extremely well. I'm obviously running a beast of a PC for a game like this, but since it runs on a Switch, I have no doubt that most modern systems will run the game without a single hiccup. The game had a wonderful little jazzy soundtrack that played in the background. It really fit the vibes of the game, and it made me feel relaxed as I played through. I would say it's even one of the standout things in the game, and they also sell the soundtrack separately. I do believe this game has very little replay value. When you finish the game in less than 3 hours, you might be able to squeeze just a couple more hours out of it to collect the leftover cosmetic items you may have missed, but that's really going to be about it. It is possible that if a very young kid played this game who doesn't yet have gaming experience, they would get a lot more out of it as they stumble around, basically just learning a video game. But for anyone who is familiar with a few games, this definitely doesn't have too much longevity to offer. My rating for this game is a 6 out of 10. Overall, it's cute and charming, and it isn't a bad little playthrough if you don't have much else on your gaming backlog, or if you just really love cats. It's possible an extremely young child would be able to get a lot out of it, but I would definitely recommend picking this up on a big sale or just playing it on Game Pass if it's available. It is at the time of making this video. The characters are fun, and initially it's enjoyable to explore being a mischievous cat, but it really suffers from having little mechanics and very short playtime. The game is fine and it runs well, but it's nothing special. To who I would recommend this game for, I'd recommend it for very young kids, cat lovers, or someone looking for a very short, low-stress adventure. If you love cozy games, I recommend checking out my review of Tiny Glade, an incredibly well-made procedural castle builder.